show is Cage Minds. I'm your host, Mika Frankl. Our guest is Cole Griego. Good to see you, sir. Last time we talked, I think you were still a professional. We're still an amateur, now a professional. So a lot's changed.
Yes, that's correct. It's been a while. Been grinding. It was that time. I've been at this for a long time. Since I was a kid, I've been training. I've got my licks in. So it was definitely time to make that transition to being a professional.
Last year, the pro debut, I believe it comes on short notice. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It wasn't on short notice. I had about 6 weeks to prepare for that one. So it wasn't too short notice, but I mean, for some fighters that is short notice. But I felt like, I had time to prepare for that one for sure. But yeah, that was an interesting fight. Well, we could talk about that more in a second. I'm sure you have some more questions for me, so I'll let you ask those, Mika.
All right, so it wasn't short notice, but 6 weeks before that what was the moment like, the decision, like your team, I know your father's a big part of it, to make that decision that the next fight you would be taking would be a professional one?
I think just the amount of time that I've been, the people that I've been around and been able to, eat knowledge off of. I really felt like it was definitely, for me having 12 amateur fights too, or actually 11, sorry, correct me. 11 amateur fights. I just really felt like I was done fighting for free. And for me too, cutting down to flyweight, cause I'm 5'8", I'm a pretty tall flyweight, that cut's not extremely easy for me. So I just think that with my experience and everything that is on the line, I was just definitely ready to make that transition, and go professional. I know that, that it didn't go the way I wanted it to. And, I haven't told, many other than my close friends, they know how my camp was. I had an amazing camp for that fight. All my coaches at Jackson Week, really helped me out. Everything was great going into that fight. Jesse, one of my best friends, was, really helping me with my grappling. My wrestling has been improving tremendously because of one of my other friends, Jordan, he's a 3-time All-American, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. But so my game has just been elevating in every aspect. And I just really felt like it was definitely that time. I had a great camp. And unfortunately, the week of the fight, I ended up coming down with it wasn't like death bill. I definitely was not going to pull out of the fight. I already had that in my mind, and in my mind, I was like, I can beat this bug in a few days. But I do think that I was a little bit compromised during that time, just because when I had usually when I step in the cage, I'm at least 137, 136 pounds, sometimes even heavier. But this time I just had such a hard time gaining weight back. It was crazy because they had weighed me right before the fight, like a couple hours before the fight when they were doing all my medicals. And I was 133 pounds. I was like 133.6 pounds, which is really light. And I felt like I just wasn't able to eat as much food as I normally do, because like after weigh-ins and when I've cut that much weight before, I like eat and I feel like I can't get full. Like I can just eat so much, once I get to that point, like my body just craves all this nutrients. And this time it was weird because like my body wasn't craving the nutrients the same way. Like I was definitely, of course, like right after weigh-ins, I was super thirsty. Like that's like water was just like the best thing in the world. But once I got rehydrated and kind of started eating a little bit of fruit and got a meal in, I wasn't really like hungry. It was really strange. So it was unfortunate because I had a great camp leading up to that fight. I feel like I was in great shape, but it was just one of those unfortunate events where the week of, I just don't think that I was 100%. In fact, I know I wasn't. But, much respect to my opponent that I fought. He's a really cool guy from Philly. We talked after the fight, nothing but respect to him. He's also, a really tough guy. So I knew it wasn't going to be a super easy fight. I knew that he had some good wrestling credentials and that he had, he'd had a lot of fights himself too as an amateur and has been around the game for a while. So I was expecting a tough fight, but I just wish I would have been able to go in there, 100% healthy and 100% confident with my, with my weight gain and just, my rehydration and all that stuff. But, that's part of it. That's a learning experience. It was still a great experience. I don't regret anything, and I'm just looking forward to this one.
All of that being said, what was the game plan to move forward? What adjustments did you feel needed to be made that you implemented in this camp to get the desired results?
I think just my cardio has, always been decent, but I think that this camp definitely I've taken that to another level. I've been doing more sprints than I ever have, just been doing more intense training, intense wrestling classes, just going, really hard, pushing my body to the limit. And, it's been great too, because I actually was able to quit my job for this camp. I had saved up enough money to, I was just like, I want to just focus on this. I was serving for a little while. That wasn't really working out for me. So I quit that job, and I was like, I was going to go get another job, but then this fight came up, and I was like, you know what? Like, I have enough money saved up right now. Like, I'm gonna chill and just focus on this fight and focus on just having the performance that I know that I'm capable of having. And I think that's what's going to happen next weekend. I've just been focusing a lot on my cardio, and of course, my grappling as well has been the same. It's just I've been working with, all the top guys here in New Mexico. And I think my grappling has improved tremendously, but also my striking. I mean, I feel like I've always been kind of known as a striker. And I definitely would, think of myself as a striker. I know that that's where I'm, naturally the best. And I think that just in every aspect, I feel like I'm more versatile everywhere. Even my striking has improved, my wrestling, like I said, tremendously, my jiu-jitsu, and just my overall maturity in the game. I just feel like I've, experienced so much, even with my last fight, having to go in there, not feeling 100%, just trying to, mentally, tell myself that I was feeling okay. Even like I said, even though I wasn't deathly ill, I just, I feel like in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that I was like not 100%, but I was still trying to battle that in my mind and tell myself, no, bro, like you're good. You're going to fuck this dude up. Like, but it's like I said, it's all learning experience. And I'm just excited to show what I've been working on next week. I just think you're going to see a more complete Cole. And I think that wherever the fight goes, that I'm going to dominate. I know that I know this guy is a striker. I know he's that's where he likes to fight. He likes to fight on the feet. And where, if he wants to keep it standing, if it stays standing, I'm definitely, going to be looking for the finish. I'm looking to piece him up. I know that my striking is better, and I know my grappling is better. I know that I can control this guy. I know I'm more physical. I've never felt as strong as I feel right now. And I just feel like my control and my pressure is just going to be too much, and I'm going to break him. I'm predicting that I'm going to, because you've seen me choke people out before. I'm thinking I'm going to choke him out or I'm going to knock him out, but I'm definitely going to finish him.
It's a lot, it sounds like, that you've put in the last 5 months, a lot of big adjustments and changes, because, well, you've been fighting and being a martial artist for as long as I've known you, quite so many years. Now you're a professional. Now it goes on the record. Now you're building the brand and the legacy, and now you're doing it for money. Does it have that different sense of purpose and realness now that you're a professional?
Yes, absolutely. That's a good question. Yeah, I definitely, after my last fight, of course, no one likes losing, but I especially don't like losing. It's just such a hard thing when you're such a competitive person and you want to go in there for your first professional fight and get the dub and, be 1-0. Like that's what you want. But, not everything happens the way that you plan or the way that you want. So you just gotta, take that adversity and roll with it. I know I have what it takes to make it in this sport. So I am not going to let that hinder in the back of my mind. I'm just going to, keep moving forward. It's just one loss. and I know what I'm capable of, and I know what the future holds for me. So I'm just gonna keep that, you know, in my vision, and yeah, that's the plan right now.
So once again, the opponent's going to be Alex Traughber, and you're taking him on next weekend in Kentucky. And you already hit on a little bit. You respect him, but you see the opportunity for a finish in this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I respect all my opponents. I've never been one to try to take easy fights, even as an amateur. So yeah, I'm definitely expecting the best version of him as well. I'm sure he's been working on the things that he knows that he needs to work on, but I'm just going to be better everywhere. I'm so confident, more confident than I've ever been. And I think that just the mental aspect, where I am mentally right now, along with where I am physically, is gonna be the difference in this one.
All right with you, a guy that favors the ground. We've seen you win a lot of fights by choke. You'd be all right with just going into a stand-up war?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I definitely am gonna be patient and smart. I'm definitely down to get into, you know, make this a stand-up fight, but I'm not gonna make this a slugfest, or you know, I'm not gonna make any Cody Garbrandt mistakes. I'm gonna be calm, cool, collected, and I'm gonna hit him with precise shots. I'm not gonna waste a lot of energy. If I see a fit in to take his ass down, he's gonna hit the mat. You know, wherever it goes, you know, whatever I see, whatever I feel in there, you know, is where I'm going to move and what I'm going to do. I just feel like I have you know, my muscle memory, been doing this for so long, you know, I have a good, you know, feel for when to do certain things, and just, you know, my overall fight IQ, you know, is very high. So I think that's going to play factor into this win.
Not just in fighting, but in life, a lot of big changes, a lot of adjustments. I don't think I've asked you this one on camera. Did the neck tattoo hurt?
Yes. You know, it's so funny because I get asked that question at least like 20 times a week, you know, out in public. People, oh, did that hurt? And I always say the same thing. I'm like, yeah, if you're going to get tattooed on your neck or on your torso or like the inside of your arm, any sensitive areas, like, it's going to hurt. Tattoos freaking hurt.
Now, for everybody that can't see it, what was the inspiration behind that piece in that spot?
So what the tattoo is it's a lion morphed with a cross. So I grew up Christian. I still consider myself a Christian. I'm a strong believer, a very spiritual person. And you know, who doesn't love lions? King of the jungle, especially for, you know, for what I do, you know, fighting. I just felt like, you know, and then it was funny too, because like I'd always, since I was like 16, I wanted to get my neck done, and everyone was like, no, don't do that. Like, you know, just telling me not to, like, you know, just, it's a bad idea. And I just feel like the more people told me not to do it, the more I wanted to. And then, yeah, as soon as I was like, when did I get that? I was 20, I think 21 when I got this. And yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm old enough to make my own decisions. I'm an adult, you know, I'm gonna go get it done. I got it done by, it's funny, his name's Mario Size. He works over at what's his tattoo part? Stylistic Ink. He's dominant, or what's his name? Damasio Page's brother-in-law.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he's an awesome guy, awesome tattoo artist. Yeah, and I just think that this piece was just overall inspired by my spirituality and just my hunger and ferociousness, you know, in life and in fighting. And, you know, the crowns, you know, just added there to represent, you know, that I'm not only a king, but, you know, that God is the king, and that, you know, we gotta serve and represent him.
Really deep meaning to that piece. Love it. Got you looking good. Just like if everybody's following along like they should be on the social media. Saw you're just letting fire go on the pads, you and Frank Lester the other day. So you're definitely feeling as good as you ever have, it looks like, leading into this fight.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like just, you know, because I've been working with Tank for, you know, over a year, having him back, just touching up on some of the things that we were working on in the past, has really, I think, just, yeah, sharpened some things up for this camp. I've also been working a lot with Joe Cruz. He's another awesome striking coach. Just really just all the people around me that for this camp have been great. And I just feel like the team behind me right now, the people that I have invested in me, I just feel like I have a tight, little circle that, I can talk to and train with and relate with. And yeah, I just feel like, and, high level coaches, high level training partners that are after the same thing as me and want to do the same thing as me. And, just surrounding myself with those people that have that same drive, I think has been really important for me. And I feel like I've tuned into that more than I ever have. And especially because, like I said, I've had more free time since I haven't, had a job for this camp. It's been nice just being able to focus just on my training and fighting.
And I want to ask you about another topic as a young upcoming fighter. Looking at the scene, is it a bigger landscape than it ever has been before? I think we saw Eagle FC just last night. PFL's growing. So it looks like there's more opportunities abound for MMA fighters than there ever have been before.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it makes me super excited just to see this sport growing and to see, some of these athletes, getting paid more and yeah, just all the opportunities that are coming to Horizon right now. It's amazing. I feel like it's a great time to be, a professional fighter, that's up and coming. And, that's where I'm at. I've even had some interest in doing bare knuckle because, those guys get paid. And, I'm born and raised in these Albuquerque streets. I like an old fashioned fist fight.
So that would be an option that you'd be down for. BKFC, what is it, Triller Triad?
Yeah, I'm totally open to all of that stuff. It just if I mesh good with a promoter and we can work out a deal that I like, I'm flexible, especially when it comes to combat. So we'll see what opportunities come up.
And overall, as like a career endeavor, you'd be cool with leaving away jiu-jitsu and trying bare knuckle boxing. You wouldn't feel that that you're like, I don't get to do this now. I don't get to grapple. You'd be cool with it.
Yeah, I would be cool with it, but just because I know that I would still grapple at like every week. Grappling. I started with jiu-jitsu, so that'll always be my first love. And no matter what I'm doing, whether it's bare knuckle, whatever I'm doing, or MMA, whatever, I'll always want to compete in grappling and try to do stuff like that too. Local tournaments, whatever, just whatever I can do to challenge myself while I'm young and healthy. Especially if it's something that I enjoy doing, like grappling. That's just, and it's also just going to elevate my game in MMA no matter what. So yeah, I feel like if I ever have like a bare knuckle, or even heaven forbid like a boxing fight, because I got good hands, I would take a boxing fight. I still would definitely be training jiu-jitsu at least once or twice a week.
You've done it as an amateur many times, once as a professional. This coming weekend, the second fight as a professional. Overall, what's that feeling? What's it like getting under those bright lights, taking center stage?
Man, it's such an amazing feeling. And it always resonates in the back of my head. Something that Coach Joey Villasenor told me a long time ago in one of my amateur fights. He's like, you've been here before and you'll be here again. And it just, it's so true. Like, I've been here, done that. And I know that no matter what happens in this fight, in the upcoming fight, like, I'm going to do it again, because I love this. And that, I feel like alleviates some of the pressure and just makes me feel more comfortable in there. And, knowing that I have an amazing girlfriend, I have amazing family in general. I got my dogs. I've got a good home life. I'm blessed. There's nothing really in my life that I can complain about too much. So I just keep that in the back of my head always. And, I feel like that definitely just alleviates the pressure. And, yeah, and that's how I feel right now. I feel like I've never been this mentally prepared and mentally just focused and relaxed and just, not feeling any pressure, just wanting to go in there and perform and show people that, I'm the real deal. And, the skills that I have always had and, that I've displayed before, that I just want to keep showing that I'm improving, and, you know, just having better performances each time, and just, you know, having people watch me, and keeping all the, you know, keeping people on my radar, you know, getting followers, you know, I want people watching what I'm doing.
Gotta ask, you mentioned the puppies. Tell us about them.
So I have a French bulldog and a golden doodle, and yeah, they're so awesome. We got the Frenchie right before the pandemic. It was so crazy because like the pandemic hit and it seemed like everyone started getting puppies, and yeah, but we got him right before the pandemic from a breeder in California. I saw his picture online and I was just like, I told my girlfriend, I was like, we have to get this dog. So we did. We love him. He's our boy. He's a little ornery brat sometimes, but you know, it is what it is. And then yeah, so he's awesome. We got the golden doodle. He's just obsessed with balls and fetch, loves cuddles. But yeah, dogs are awesome. I feel like everyone should have a dog, you know, because they'll love you no matter what, you know. You could, you know, yeah, nothing you could do, you know, they're loyal. There's no loyalty that compares to a dog's, you know. So I feel like, and they teach you responsibility and patience, because, you know, when they're shitting in the house and like, you know, doing stuff like that, you know, it's frustrating. So, you know, it's a life lesson too, especially if you're thinking about having kids in the future. You know, I think a dog is the good thing to do first.
Dude, topic for a whole nother day. I have a dog that we have to sometimes trick into eating. I have like a bulimic dog. I don't.
I've heard that. Yeah, people will be like, they'll put their dog's like food bowl in the microwave, you know, then they'll eat it because they think that dogs are funny. The ways that you can trick them to thinking certain things. Yeah, they're funny creatures, man. They're comical.
B2 Fight Series 146 in Kentucky next weekend. That's where we can see Cole Griego in action. Cole, do you know if they're having a pay-per-view stream of the card?
Yeah, B2 always does like a pay-per-view. So you can go on their Instagram. They have a link in their bio to their pay-per-view, or you could just go to b2fightingseries.com, and their website's pretty easy to manage. You just go to order pay-per-view for whatever event you want to, and then pick your fighter. You know, of course, pick me, so I get that, you know, extra ticket money. Yeah, so it's like $25-30. Easy to manage website. Just go to their B2 Fighting Series Instagram, click on the link in their bio, and yeah, order the fight.
Awesome, Cole. It's great getting to talk to you. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, absolutely, Micah. I appreciate you as always, sir. I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.